Hi, this is Bill Johnson, and you're listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast. This is episode number 400, ladies and gentlemen. We have done it, a big milestone, and in celebration of that, we will be doing a very special retrospective for Tobe Hooper. Of course, we have done a few of these in the past, so if you've heard them, you know what is in store. If not, wait a little bit and you'll know exactly what a Tobe Hooper retrospective means. I am here, of course, as always, with Steve and Todd. Gentlemen, congratulations. 400 episodes. 400 for Todd and I. Steve, what is this for you? Do you have the exact number down?
Yeah, I started at 76, so
Okay.
300 and like yeah, 24.
320 something. Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, math whizzes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Uh, I mean, we're chugging along, baby.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't think we would last 400 episodes if I'm being totally honest.
Not
But
from the
it's
very, very
well,
beginning.
no, definitely not from the very beginning, from episode one, when really it was just. I mean, I don't even think podcasts were really even like huge yet. Like it was
Just
kind
like
of
the
like
big
starting to get
guys. Yeah.
popular, and we're like, yeah, let's do that. Fuck YouTube, and that's how that's how the podcast basically
Mhm.
started from its inception. Is Todd, I, and our previous host Eric, we all had YouTube channels, and we all were like, "Yeah, let's do a horror
Bought
thing,
it.
and let's pod it." And we didn't really take it seriously at all. Like it was like, "Oh yeah, let's release an episode once whenever we feel like it." Like no sort of set schedule and stuff like that. And then thank God for Steve coming in, and he's really laid down sort of the groundwork of making sure we put out episodes consistently every week, and has really just been a shining light
A
to
beacon of
the
hope, one
podcast,
could
the
say.
beacon of hope. Yes, we lit the beacon, and Steve was there to take it. So,
The
yes,
lighthouse
and of
guiding us safely to shore.
yes, and of course we can't not do come into 400 and also not mention Sam, who
Hmm.
also was a member of this podcast as well at one time. So yeah, thank you to everyone that has come along the way. And yeah, let's keep chugging along, and maybe we'll do, we'll see at 800. We'll see. We'll see.
Welcome back to Horror Squad podcast.
But all right, before we get into the retrospective, gentlemen, how was your week? I know Todd, you had a very busy
Mhm.
weekend over at Horror Hound Weekend.
I did. Yeah, man. Shout out to Whorehound Weekend once again for the media passes. Thank you very much. Yeah, so 12th to the 14th, Whorehound, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Stacked lineup for me at least. They had a couple of cancellations. They also had a lot of rock stars coming in and wrestlers, which we've talked about in the past. Like personally, I don't see the appeal to having, rock stars and wrestlers in the horror market. Like you think a wrestling con would kill because there's plenty of wrestler fans out there. But anyway, big one for me was Shawnee Smith and Lee Winnell. Obviously Shawnee was Amanda in Saw, the Saw franchise, and Lee was the writer slash Adam in part one, and he's been with the franchise in different areas throughout its run. And oh my word. So I met Adam first, got in his line first because I thought he was gonna be the longer one, which was a mistake. Shawnee Smith was, oh my, I'll get to her, but Lee couldn't be nicer. So down to earth, so like genuine, asking me questions about, my fandom of the series and his other movies. And I asked him like, hey, like, what is your favorite movie that you worked on? Can any of you guess which one it is?
Ooh, that's a great question. I maybe would throw out Invisible Man.
You got it. Invisible Man.
Nice.
Yeah, his
Hmm.
his was his favorite. The experience of it and working with Elizabeth Moss, he said was the highlight. And yeah, he's got a lot of stuff up his sleeve, so I can't wait to hear and watch his stuff. I've always, thought he was a great writer and director, and I'm glad to see he's chugging along. Although Wolfman kind of stumbled a bit, I hope that they still give him opportunities because he's a great filmmaker, in my opinion. And of course, Adam and Saw, I can't go wrong there. So he signed my Saw poster, which previously had Tobin Bell and Dr. Gordon on there. And then Shawnee. This is where I made my first fuck up. I went to her line Friday night after doing Lee, and Lee was long. He talked to a lot of people, but it moved. Shawnee, very sweet, but very attentive to her fans, which is great, but awful if you're in a line, right? I was about 35, maybe 40 deep. Not huge. Usually take maybe half an hour, 45 minutes to get through that, maybe an hour. But I was at 30 minutes and I had moved 3 spots. And I'm like, this is not fucking doing anything. She's up there like taking people's cameras and taking selfies and talking, and which is great, but not if you want to get throughout the con, right? So I'm like, all right, plan Saturday morning, I'm coming, taking the press pass or whatever, and get in front, early entry, and I went straight to her line. I was number one in line. And I was like, yes. And then Tobin Bell was there Saturday and Sunday. His line was fucking insane. And he charged $100, which thankful I got him in 2016 for like 50, 60. Lee was 50 and Shawnee I thought was 50 was actually 60, but which is a fair price. Yeah, I got up to meet her. Man, like I said, I observed her being really cool with the fans and she was awesome with me, man. She would stop writing and just look at me in the face and like ask like, oh, why I like this and things like that, and just a sweet person, man. She was hugging people, getting really close to them, and people that were like a disabled fan, she's going up there and going out of her way to make her feel special, and it was just fucking awesome. So Shawnee was great. And then the last one was Fede Alvarez, who directed Evil Dead remake, the new Alien, and what
Was this his
else?
first ever con?
This is, yeah.
Yeah.
This is so I caught him, he was with his writing partner that did those movies as well. So I watched their panel, which was great. And then I walked straight up to his table. There was no line, which I was fucking thrilled about. And I got him signed the Evil Dead poster. So that's gonna be my next project. Hopefully I get the cast members down. They were all down last year, but I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna do it. And then of course Fetty shows up this year. So hopefully they'll be around again. But yeah, Horror Hound Weekend was fucking awesome. If I had one complaint, because we got to be fair to people, is that we got to manage lines better, man. Like the thing for Fetty was very awkward. Fetty was on the table if you're facing them to the left, and his writing partner was to the right. But to get to Fede, you had to go right in front of the writing partner, and they had one handler. So I'm like, I don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to get yours, I want to get his, but I'm also not going to spend the money on you because I'm not, you know what I mean? So like you go up to them and they ask you, "Oh, what would you like from him?" I'm like, "Oh, just something from Fetty, thank you." And it's just fucking awkward, right? So we got to do better with that. Let's manage the lines better. Let's put some the rope barriers or whatever. Let's tape the ground, something just to make it not awkward for not only the guest but for the fan that we are as well. But overall, Horehound always puts on a good show. And got another con next month and it's gonna be fun. Good stuff. So thanks again, Horehound.
Excellent. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm Harhound. I know it's one of the premier conventions, and I'm definitely coming. I'm definitely coming next year. September, I think, is the plan. So I'll definitely be there next year. I cannot wait. So once again, thank you, Horrorhound, and hopefully you can throw those past our way again next year for next September when I'll be
Sure.
attending. Maybe Steve. Maybe we can get Steve out there too for that.
I was just thinking, like my old goal used to be to go to Texas Frightmare because that's the one I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go to. I've done it. Horror Hound would probably be my next
Mm-hmm.
like big trip that I would do, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the state of the world by then.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely possible for me
Excellent.
because it sounds like a fucking awesome con, and I would really like
Hell
to
yeah.
attend it.
Hell yeah. So potentially, maybe next year's Horror Squad podcast meetup. We shall see. We'll let you guys know. But all right. Anything else, gentlemen? I was supposed to attend Silver Scream Con this weekend, but I ended up getting called in for work, so I did not make it. Unfortunately, looked like an awesome time though. I saw a ton of stuff. The Terrifier cast was all there, and Rhea Ripley, big WWE superstar, showed up. And actually, my buddy's wife, a lot of you might know Michelle, who has done a lot of our artwork for the podcast. Her husband actually tattooed Rhea Ripley at the convention, which is pretty awesome. She would like was sharing stuff over the con all weekend. Ice Nine Kills, of course, is the band that puts on that convention. They had a concert Saturday night and they killed her on stage. Like Art killed her, like on stage, quote unquote. So that, yeah, it sounded like an awesome time. I know Missy was there. Missy worked with the Dead Meat people, who big YouTubers. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, shout out Silver Scream Con. Hopefully, I will get out there next year. It's an amazing con. A little bummed I didn't get Jeffrey Combs on the poster, but he does a lot of cons, so I think I'll get to him eventually. Sam had her book fair on Saturday, the Spooktastic Book Fair in Framingham. Man, what an awesome event. Ton of horror authors. Lot of local, lot of bigger ones. I know the biggest one I personally knew was Paul Tremblay, was there, who did the cabin in, what is that one called? The
Cabin at the
house
End of the World
cabin at the end of the
was the
world.
book, but
And then
wasn't it
Knock at
something
the
else? Knock at the
Cabin. Knock
Cabin,
at the
yeah.
Cabin, the M. Night Shyamalan movie was based on that book. And he's got a new one out, just I think simply titled Horror Movie, which a lot of people were picking up because he had a special edition just for the con that had like green pages. It looked really cool. But he was there along with, like I said, like there was like 60 plus horror authors there, a ton. Adult, young adult, kid ones. Awesome. They had panels all day. We didn't get to attend that because we were, Sam was vending. But yeah, it's a great event. And it's only getting bigger every year. So anyone local to the area, I think we'll definitely be back next year. So check it out. The Spooktastic Book Fair in Framingham. It was September this year. It'll probably be September next year as well. All right. I think that anything else, gentlemen? Steve, book fair, movie club or whatever. Any
So
updates?
we're doing the vote right now. They're based off. I picked like seven people's watch lists from our Discord and just picked something off their watch list to put up to a vote. I also added one of mine in there, and people are voting right now. It'll end sometime this week, and we'll know next week which movie is going to be picked. Right now, it's a two-way tie between a movie called Dead Sushi and the other one is called Dark Skies. Not Dark Skies. That's something. Tobe Hooper. Dark something. I don't remember, but yeah, it's exciting. I can't wait to see what we watch, and we'll do it at the last Friday of this month.
Excellent. And I guess I should also mention 2 weeks away, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot believe it. 2 weeks away until it's just a bunch of Halloween weekend. Where the hell has the time gone? We've been talking about it forever. Like I said, tickets for most events are sold out. So thank you to everyone for that. It's just a bunch of Halloween.com for the remaining two events that are left, which is the screening at the Cabot, which will be on Sunday, October 5th, and then the autograph signing at the Salem Waterfront Hotel, which is Saturday, October 4th. Even if you're not planning on getting autographs, come on out to the Salem Waterfront Hotel because there's going to be a ton of vendors vending at that event as well. Steve and I will be there promoting, of course, the Horror Squad podcast and the movie. I am going to have the demon mask on display, which will be the only time anyone will see it until the movie. It's a big spoiler that I've been trying to hide, but for people that want to come out, I will give you that little spoiler there, and we'll have free stickers and stuff to be giving out and stuff like that. So come on out. Sam will also be vending next to us, Halloween Happy, as well as a bunch of other spooky and horror vendors. So even if you don't want to come out and get the autographs, come out and support the local vendors as well that will be there. Alrighty. So now it is time for our very special episode, of course, our Tobe Hooper retrospective episode. If you've listened to our other retrospectives, you know, but if you haven't, what we do is we go through the entire filmography, horror-wise, of the directors. In the past, we've done George Romero, we've done Wes Craven, correct? And we've
Stuart
done
Gordon.
Stuart Gordon. And now, number 4, Tobe Hooper, which I will fully admit in advance, is the one I'm least prepared for, but I've seen about half of that, so I will chime in when I can. But luckily, Steve and Todd will be able to pick me up on this episode. So, Todd, I think you've always been the one to take it away on these. So, why don't we start with
And
Mr. Tobe Hooper?
and we are shifting to Steve.
Yeah. So I happened to watch all of them, so which is why I'm going to take the lead this time. I The way I'm going to do it is different than we did in the past. We used to go in order of like when they were released, but I think I'm going to go the letterbox route. And the letterbox route is in order of basically its popularity, and I'm going to go from the reverse, from his least popular movie to his most popular, so that it's eventually leading into his big hits, which we'll do at the end. So I'm gonna start just off the bat with three of them because I don't really want to talk about them too much, and that is Peter, Paul, and Mary, The Song of Love. Then the other one is called Down Friday Street and The Heisters. So Peter, Paul and Mary, The Song of Love is just basically a documentary about this folk Christian group from the 70s. I have nothing really to say about it other than it's interesting to see Tobe Hooper as a student having to do this. I think this was just one job he took just to get experience. And you even get to hear and see Tobe Hooper in one scene in particular where he has a one-on-one interview with one of the singers of the group, and it just I don't know. I just can picture young Tobe Hooper who's going to make these like monster classics one day, doing this Christian folk band, and it's just so funny to me. And it was kind of an interesting look into this band. I don't really know them. I know there's some controversy later in their careers, of course. They did some bad. Some of them did some bad things that are really, really gross. But yeah, just interesting as a Tobe Hooper retrospective. And the other two, Down Friday Street and The Heisters, they're 10-minute shorts. You should just check him out on YouTube. It's cool to see Tobe Hooper starting to develop his style. The Heisters in particular, I liked because you really see the way he composes films, and you'll see it throughout the retrospective. But it's just cool to see kind of shorts that he made as a young teen, and they're free on YouTube, so why not? So the first film, his most obscure apparently, is 1996's Dark Skies, which was a TV movie. So this one is really kind of like a basic TV alien invasion movie. It was released around the time, I don't know if you guys probably remember this, when they had like footage of an alien that was like stolen from the government, and they did like a special on TV. It was like a alien autopsy.
Oh yeah,
It was like
remember
a
that.
big deal in like the mid 90s. So this is around that time. So it's a 1960s America. A young couple is trying to expose the truth about hidden alien invasion, and the like secret government organization. It's trying to cover it up because they want the weaponry and the technology from these aliens. Like I said, very bland one in my opinion. It's very clearly a TV movie because you know how when you watch a TV movie they have these very obvious like awkward cuts that would usually go to commercial, but when you're watching it like on a disc, it it just has this awkward cut out of nowhere, and yeah, so it's not good. I gave it 2 stars out of 5. Todd, have you seen this one? Since I know you like kind of the alien stuff.
What was the title again?
Dark Skies.
No,
Okay, yeah.
sorry.
I honestly I wouldn't.
There's
Like,
another
Yeah, I'll
there's
pass.
another movie called Dark Skies, right? Did you mention
there
that?
there is
Yeah.
actually
Is it Carrie Russell?
yeah, in
Yeah.
February when we did the episode with Austin, I was doing my monthly thing, and he gave me Dark Skies as like my month thing, and I reviewed it as what watched during the episode that he was on, because yeah, and that was a way better version of that title. So if you're gonna watch Dark Skies, watch the other one. I don't remember what year it was, but definitely not this one. It's just bland. Very TV movie from the 90s, bland. The next one is called The Apartment Complex. So this is from 1999, so a later Hooper movie. This one I never even heard of. If you guys have seen a movie called 1BR, I think Joe did. There's also that M. Night Shyamalan movie, no, not Shape of Water. It's Lady in the Water, where it's all like the setting is entirely in like an apartment block, one of those that's like it's like 3 buildings and then there's a pool in the middle. It's like one of those apartment blocks, and it's just about the various people who live in this apartment block and a murder mystery that they're trying to figure out. It's told through the eyes of the new caretaker of the apartment block, and yeah, I just didn't know really what to expect with this one, and it was bland, like a lot of these. I think this was probably also a TV movie, but I did enjoy the setting. It's the same reason I liked 1BR and I liked Lady in the Water. I just like the idea of having these different characters that have to live within the same space, and have to do like all sorts of stuff. It does have Chad Lowe, Patrick Warburton, and Amanda Plummer, and also Arlie Ernie in this movie. and you get to see all of Amanda Plummer if that's what you're interested in. There's a surprising scene for something that was on television. So yeah, I'd soft recommend for this one, and I gave it 2.5 stars out of 5.
Sounds like maybe a hard recommend if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Right.
oh, keep going, Steve, because I think you got four before I've caught up.
Okay. So I'm gonna mention two in the same kind of thing here: The Damn Thing and Dance of the Dead. So The Damn Thing and Dance of the Dead are both episodes of Masters of Horror, which is a show that ran for 2 or 3 seasons. I think Stuart Gordon also had like 1 or 2 episodes in this series. So I just watched those two. The Damn Thing, super boring, if I'm being honest. It's about a guy who thinks there's like this invisible force that's in his town. He's a sheriff, and he sets out to kind of uncover this quote unquote damn thing. But people think that it might be him that's responsible for it, and then it's kind of like a psychological drama slash slasher without actually having a killer because it's like an invisible force. I was bored. I did not like this one at all. It stars Sean Patrick Flannery, which I do like. I think he's a great actor, but even he couldn't save this episode. This is probably the worst episode of the Masters of Horror that I saw. I gave it 2 stars. And the other one, though, Dance of the Dead, even though I also gave it 2 stars, which is a theme for you'll see with a lot of Hooper films, it does star Robert Englund in a very interesting role. He plays like this like head of like this party, and he's just very expressive in this, and it's like it's a weird one. It's as there's like cool zombies in this one. There's a lot of nudity, and Robert Englund is all around the nudity. It's like it's weird to see him in that context. But the
Does
characters
Robert
are
England hang dong though?
no,
Is the real
no,
question.
no, not at all.
Unwatchable, unwatchable.
Yeah. But the characters are underdeveloped. Cinematography is like abysmal. I remember that specifically from this movie. It's just like it's like the fucking cameraman is just like jumping all over the place, and there's just lights playing because it plays a lot in a club and stuff. Yeah, it's more interesting than the damn thing, but I wouldn't go out and seek these 2 episodes from Masters of Horror either. Have you guys watched a lot of Masters of Horror, or is that something you used to
Yeah,
watch?
it did back in the day.
Yeah.
I just don't remember these.
Yeah, I probably have seen both of these,
hmm
but yeah, I don't remember
I
them
remember my.
specifically.
Oops, sorry. I remember mine being my favorite being Sick Girl. You guys remember that?
Is
Misty
that
Monday, but Aaron she changed her name to Aaron something. I don't
yeah,
know. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
yeah. I mean, I think the Carpenter one's probably one of my favorites.
Cigarette Burns?
Cigarette Burns, yeah, that one was really
Is that
good.
with like an angel or something?
I think it gets weird like that towards the end,
Mm.
if I'm not mistaken. But there was like a movie too that ripped off the idea, like we talked about. But then also, I liked both the Stuart Gordon ones. I thought
Me
had
too. Yeah.
fantastic ones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I wish they brought it back, man. There's so many good horror
hmm
directors going right now. It would be great to have like another horror anthology based series out there some way somehow. I wouldn't not surprised like Blumhouse's or like James Wan and stuff
Mhm.
getting involved with something like that down the road. We'll see. Because I know what's his face Guillermo del Toro did something.
Curiosities or
Yeah.
Yeah,
something?
Cabinet of Curiosities, which was okay,
Yeah.
but
Similar. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Concept.
only watched the Rick Grimes episode based on recommendation by,
Hmm.
oh man, I'm drawing a blank here, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. All right. So next one is Night Terrors. So this is one that is really bizarre and interesting. So this is a movie about God, it's what's this even about? It's like this girl has visions of the past where the Marquis de Sade is being tortured, and he's like essentially bringing his aura into the future. And Marquis de Sade and the version of him in the future are both played by Robert Englund. So this woman travels to Alexandria to visit her father, and once she's there, she's like brought into this weird cult that kind of has Eyes Wide Shut type vibes, and it just gets super weird. There's constant psychedelic dreams happening throughout this whole thing. We're talking about torture, topless women dancing with snakes, medieval dreams, and of course for people who are in our Discord, I even showed a picture of this because this was just too crazy. There's this entire whole scene where it's just this naked dude on a white horse on a beach, and he is flopping dong back and forth just all over the place, and it lasts like super long. It's a weird scene. It's a weird movie. I did like Robert Englund as the Marquis de Sade in this one, and I've said it before. I don't think he's the best actor outside of Freddy Krueger, and he still isn't in this. You know, you could tell that he's like acting too much, but this is probably one of the better roles. You'll hear a lot of Robert Englund during Tobe Hooper retrospective. He used them a lot, and this is probably one of my favorite appearances of Robert Englund in the Tobe Hooper retrospective. So, soft recommend on this one, or floppy recommend, I guess. 2.5 stars out of 5 for me. I'm guessing you guys haven't seen it. This one was pretty hard to track down, so
Mm-mm.
yeah, that was like a problem with me with these is that I had to track them down. I had to buy like fucking three of them on DVD or Blu-ray because they were impossible to find on streaming. Next one is, I believe, Tobe Hooper's last film, or at least second to last, and that is 2013's Jinn. So Jinn, like the genie.
Mm.
Oh, this is a weird one. So it happens in the United Arab Emirates, and it's in like this super high-rise like apartment, I guess. And this girl is being haunted by a jinn, and it's about kind of the societal politics of her being in this building. She's kind of like a housewife, so her husband is constantly out doing things, and a neighbor is trying to help her, but then also maybe trying to hurt her. It's not a good movie, if I'm being honest. I know at least Todd watched this one too.
I did, yeah.
What'd you think of this one?
It was shit, man. It was just very boring, very dull. It's the Rosemary's Baby of United Arab Emirates with Tobe Hooper directing. I hope he got a fat fucking paycheck for this, and I hope that's all it was, because this just sucks if this is his last film. Yeah, nothing stands out in it, man. Like I do appreciate being having a legend and a film from a different country. That's nice. I'm always appreciative of that. But as far as the movie goes, it's on Tubi for me at least, and yeah, it's not good. So I would run from it, skip it, avoid it.
I'm the same way. I love to watch horror from other countries because it's just so different culturally than what I experience in life. But it needs to be directed by someone in the UAE. I don't want an
Mhm.
American director, doing something in the UAE. I want someone who actually knows the culture and knows, the
You
like,
don't want David Tully writing it?
right, exactly.
Thank shout out to Tully.
Yeah,
I'm sure
and
he's cool, but
one
yeah.
thing I remember vividly about that one is how like CGI the Jinn was, and
Ugh.
just like absolutely terrible looking.
Everything's CGI, man. The smoke looked stupid, the fog looked dumb. Of course, the security guard slash front desk man's like, there's something up with this guy.
Yeah,
Why is the fucking building empty except for two people? Give me a break. But yeah, it was not good.
right. All right. This is another obscure one that I had to buy on DVD to to watch it,
Oh, would
and
you give
this
that
is
one? I gave it
oh,
a generous two, just
I
because
I
it's in a
also
different
gave it a
country.
two. Yeah, same thing. I
Yeah.
like seeing different cultures, so I gave it a two
Yeah.
based on basically just that. Yeah. So next one, like I said, I had to buy because it's obscure, hard to find, but if you can, that is 1990's "I'm Dangerous Tonight." So "I'm Dangerous Tonight"
The fuck is
stars.
that? I don't even have that on the list.
Really?
That's crazy. Yeah.
So you have Dee Wallace and Anthony Perkins in this one. So this one is about these like museum people buy a tomb and they open it because they're idiots. And inside the tomb, there's this like red fabric that is cursed, and it kills the people who are curating the museum. But someone eventually takes the red fabric, and it lands into the hands of this girl, this really like sweet woman who's taking care of her grandmother, and she's like pretty but not like amazingly hot, even though she super is, but they're trying to like make her look less hot, because she's kind of the geeky girl. And she decides to make a dress out of this red fabric, and once she wears it, she becomes a totally different person. You've seen the kind of transformation kind of thing played out in the past. And she starts, people start disappearing and start getting killed, and they get really aggressive when they're around this red fabric. And that's kind of the gist of the story. And meanwhile, you have Anthony Perkins, who's trying to stop her and warn her that this thing is dangerous and she needs to get rid of it ASAP. This was interesting. I can't say it was like amazing, but I was interested the whole time. The lead actress was very good. Her name is Madchen Amick, and I would say I like enjoyed it. You know, you also have Arlie Ernie as the person who's he's like the cop trying to figure out like the murders and everything like that. And I think this is like an obscure one and one that I would say that if you can find it, check it out, but don't go out of your way. I gave it 2.5 stars out of 5 for this one. All right, moving on to one that I think maybe all three of us have seen, at least two of us, and that is 2000's Crocodile. So
Crocodile.
2000 Crocodile, basically the Lake Placid but Tobe Hooper version. Yeah, it's not much to say about it. Bunch of friends go into a boat trip, and there's a giant crocodile that attacks the boat, and then there's like an egg that is. I think is this just. I watch so many fucking crocodile movies lately because I watch Crocodile 2 as well. I don't remember if this is the one where the crocodile gets killed and then a bigger crocodile comes in and kills,
No,
or
this is one
that
with
that
like
might
the
be two.
crocodile farm or something.
The Crocodile. Okay, yeah. See,
Yeah.
that's yeah. It might be Crocodile 2, which I also watched. Yeah, it's basically a standard crocodile movie
Mm.
that had awful characters I couldn't care less about, except the dog because I always loved the dog. Acting's bad, CGI looked like something out of the Sci-Fi Channel, and the I wrote this. The crocodile animatronic looks like it was stolen from a rainforest cafe.
Yeah.
Like it looks so fucking fake that it was just yeah. This was not good. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. What about you, Todd?
Yeah, I'll give it its credit, man. There's a really cool scene where the crocodile's holding a guy's body and the characters on shore, they're like, oh, they're freaking out, and it cuts them in half. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. But that's the best part of the movie. The characters that Steve talked about, they never shut the fuck up. Like they're constantly talking, shut up. They're constantly bickering, screaming, fighting. There's a love triangle. Why would this fucking moron invites his girlfriend and this one girl that has a massive crush on him, like goes to, like, why would you even set yourself up for failure, dude? Like, what are you doing? And oh my God. There's a pet peeve for water-based films. If you're gonna be in a frolicking lake, make the lake look presentable. The water looked like it was fucking pond scum, dude. Like, get out of here. But yeah, overall, amazing, amazing poster. Once again, these posters rock. But yeah, the movie is pretty poopies. And I give it also a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I actually have seen this one. This came out right around the same time as Lake Placid, so it was kind of like I feel like it was kind of a rip off of it. I mean, this had to have been a straight to DVD, right? Type release. I don't think it was anything that made like a theater release, but yeah, agreed. Super generic movie, nothing really too interesting there. That's hilarious though, Steve, about the animatronic. It's that's awesome. Yeah, but you guys are pretty generous. A 2 out of 5. I give it a 1.5 out of 5. It's pretty forgettable and not something I've seen probably since it first came out
Hmm. Uh,
25 years ago. All
Shockingly, Crocodile 2 is a lot better. Like I actually
right.
really enjoyed Crocodile 2. So yeah, if you're gonna watch one, watch the second one. This one, very generic. Next one, another super fucking obscure one from 1971 called Eggshells. This movie is like basically it's like they stole someone's camcorder, like a found footage of this bunch of teens who live in this communal home and take drugs and fucking fuck each other constantly. Like there's so much nudity in this, so much fucking. And then it goes into this weird kind of hippie communal place where they live in these eggshells. It's like these plastic eggshells in a field. As I wrote in the beginning of my letterbox review, didn't read the memo that I probably need to be high as fuck to watch this properly because this movie is so weird. I'm glad Tobe Hooper decided not like to get away from this experimental 60s like trippy shit because it's a weird movie. I gave it 1.5 stars. I mean, only if you want to, but I'm not recommending it, that's for sure. All right. Getting on to another one that's obscure for him, but not super obscure. Like I think people have seen this, and that is 2005's Mortuary. So, when you got have you guys seen this one?
I have. I remember I have vivid memories of this one. I'll take it if you want,
Yep.
since you've been talking. Coat your throat with some nice cool ice water, Steve. No, I have vivid memories of this coming out. It was a sci-fi picture original Friday night kind of thing, which I was really into in high school. A family, they so basically a mom and her kids, played by what's that fucking kid's name? Dan Bird, who was in the remake of The Hills Have Eyes, who plays the youngest son. Anyway, they're moving to California because the mom's like a mortuary person and she like gets a great deal on a fucking house. It's a piece of shit, dude. And it's an old mortuary and the father had passed away, I believe. So now they're starting over here. So they move to this piece of shit. This immediately there's this fucking stupid ass realtor that's like snake oil salesman. It turns out there's like this old legend of some fucking creeper dude that may or may not be living in the mortuary. Of course, there's like supernatural shit that happens, and we follow them family as they're trying to figure out what's going on and they're trying to build their life. I actually like this one, man. Like, I like it, and I wish that it didn't have a bunch of bullshit CGI in it because there's some good stuff in here. The mortuary, cemetery, whatever, looks really cool. The house is like it does a great job. It's supposed to be run down and a piece of shit, and it absolutely is. I've liked Dan Bird since I saw him in Hills Have Eyes, so he does fine in this one. There's some acting choices in here, but hey, it's a sci-fi picture original Friday night special, so I did enjoy it, and I give it overall a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way as you. You know, I think it's got fun characters. The performances I thought were pretty good. I like the look of the zombies in this one. I always love like the mortuary setting. I think it's creepy and it just adds so much to the ambiance of the movie. The CGI is fucking terrible, which is such a bummer because it kind of ruins the film a little bit, in my opinion. You know, if they had gone all practical, just found a way to make it practical, it would have been so much better. I also felt that the main zombie, so there's one zombie in particular that's kind of like featured more than the others, was a little underdeveloped and underwhelming. I do wish that they had kind of just focused more on him. But yeah, this was a solid effort, and I also gave it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, the catacombs were really cool at the end too, that they're going through, which I was really into that.
I was looking at the wrong movie. This is when you guys mentioned this, but there's also a horror movie called Mortuary with Bill Paxton as
Yeah.
well, which I have not seen.
Yeah,
So I think Steve and I both talked about it.
yeah,
I have you in
we
the
talked in the
past,
past,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
We're
It's decent.
good, decent. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
tight.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Next one on the list is one I was really looking forward to see when we first decided to do Tobe Hooper because I think this is a fascinating subject and I was curious to see how it would be play out on film, and that is 1989's Spontaneous Combustion, starring Brad Dourif. So, Combustion is basically the Brad Dourif. He's like this kind of like awkward dude. You know, he's young in this one, and he's like I think he's just like a scientist or something, and he starts spontaneously combusting. You know, I forget what the catalyst is because I watched this a little while ago, but he's trying to like find love and do different things, but he keeps like just going crazy and going frantic. And it's, yeah, it was like a fascinating look into that character and spontaneous combustion, like as a phenomena. But yeah, the villains were really dumb. It's like government people, and they're trying to like figure out what was going on with them and everything like that. And it was just like okay overall, unfortunately. You know, it's just kind of a little too frantic for my taste. And although there were some cool kills and the burning effects were cool, it got too messy and didn't really land anything great. So I give it 2.5 stars out of 5.
Yeah, I agree with you. Brad Dourif is great. He's an underutilized actor. He's excellent in everything or most things I've seen him in. Also, fuck John Landis. He plays a cameo as like a doctor in here. We talked about him at length in our what the fuck was it called? Twilight Night, not Twilight Night. What's it?
Twilight
Yeah,
Zone.
Twilight Zone. There you go. He's a piece of shit. Um, yeah, spontaneous combustion. If you're around in the mid '90s, late '90s, it was like a thing that they were like. I was terrified of it. I remember there was a special where they would show like severed legs and like a burned, for example, like a burned couch and just the severed legs we're sitting there, and I'm like, oh man, like you feel a little hot one day, and you're like, oh, am I gonna spontaneous combust? It terrified me as a kid, man. But yeah, this movie, like, man, it has the building blocks to be fucking wild. People weaponizing spontaneous combustion essentially by being exposed to like a nuclear test at the beginning or something. His Brad Dourif's parents. But it doesn't get there. It doesn't go there, man. Like they could have been fucking insane, but like Steve said, apart from a couple of cool kills, cool fire effects, it just doesn't really get there, and it kind of peters out. And it just, the plot just exists. Nothing really furthers it. So yeah, I gave it also a 2.5 out of 5.
All right. Next one is one I watched pretty recently, so I definitely remember this one. And that is 1995's The Mangler. So The Mangler stars Ted Levine, who's of course Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs.
Give me the impression, Joe.
Oh wait, was she a great big fat person?
Pretty good.
Yeah, we got to do it. Like we've been
Not my
talking for
best.
years.
Not my best.
One day we got to just do that
Put the
episode.
lotion in the basket. There's
Put the
mine.
fucking lotion in the basket.
Don't you fucking hurt her.
So it also stars Robert Englund, as a lot of these movies do. So, okay, this one is about one of those factories where they do laundry, and they have this like insane fucking massive machine to fold the laundry instead of just having people fold it. And so they basically put like blankets in the machine and it like auto folds the blanket.
Taking our jobs, man. These
Yeah,
machines.
exactly. It's a super intimidating looking machine too, and Robert Englund plays like the person who runs this facility. And of course, this woman, she gets a little distracted and she puts her hand into the machine, and the machine just absolutely fucking eats her up in a really interesting and disgusting way. And Robert Englund comes out and he's like, "Fucking hell, that we're gonna lose, like our money because of this, and it's gonna be a whole thing. We gotta shut the plant down." And all that stuff. And eventually, more and more people die mysteriously because of this machine. And it turns out that the machine is possessed by some kind of demon. And it's up to Ted Levine, who plays a cop, to figure out what's going on and why this is happening, and basically make sure that this machine doesn't devour anyone else. A super interesting movie, honestly. The few kills that there are, and there aren't that many, are super gnarly, and I really love that. And it's got a wild ending that honestly you have to see to believe. It's like so out there, the ending, that it's almost worth watching just for that. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of filler. The other characters aren't as interesting. And I was a little salty because I had to pay like $35 to get this DVD because it's a rarer one. But yeah, it's still, I'm glad I watched it. I gave it 2.5 stars out of 5. So that's The Mangler from 95.
I have seen this one.
Oh, good.
Yes, quite a while ago, but I do remember it. This one was based on actually a Stephen King short
Yeah,
story
that's
as
right.
well. But yeah, man, I never liked this one, honestly. Man, it's just so bizarre because like Robert Englund, like his character is so weird in it. Like, he like they like put him in some like weird ass makeup, but he also like has like crutches from what I remember or something, and he's kind of like all sort of like mangled looking for whatever reason. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's just not very good. Like when your like villain is like a laundry machine or whatever, like, yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird story. It's also probably why you've never seen anything based off it, like, a Stephen King story since. Yeah, man, I just not one. Pretty forgettable. Nothing really interesting in there. If you're a Robert Englund or Tobe Hooper completist, I suppose. But yeah, no, I give this one a 2 out of 5.
But what if NECA puts out the
Mangler figure?
Mangler figure? Yeah, you
Oh,
buying
that'd
it?
be cool. No,
It'd
no.
be cool because it's so obscure, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I can definitely see a figure of it too. It's like, it's really like unique looking.
Yeah, I
So,
looked at it. That's terrifying.
yeah.
Who the hell developed that?
Yeah, no,
Sheesh.
yeah, for sure. All right, next one is a 2004 movie called The Toolbox Murders, which is a
Nice.
remake of a movie from the 70s, I believe. So The Toolbox Murders is kind of like the apartment complex, like I said before, but this one is again in an apartment, a very rundown apartment in this one. It's in Hollywood, and this young couple, I don't remember who plays the guy, but the girl's played by Angela Bettis. They're in there, and the people are kind of weird, and all of a sudden people start dying, and Angela Bettis is trying to figure out what's going on. She's hearing noises. She finds some weird shit, and before long, she's like kind of putting together a mystery of maybe a cult has something to do with this, or some kind of curse on this building, or maybe it's just someone who works for the building who's doing shit. Maybe it's a neighbor. It's like a murder mystery, essentially, all set within this one apartment building. And yeah, it's you know, it's a cool slasher movie. There's some cool kills, some interesting characters. One thing that's interesting about this movie, I think this might be her only ever movie that is not directed by her husband. It features Sherry Moon Zombie in it, which I don't think she's done anything else outside of stuff from Rob Zombie. So yeah, I love this one a lot. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think it's one of two that I was happiest to watch for this retrospective. I really recommend this one.
Yeah, I've seen this one too. I just remember doing this a double feature on this with the original that came out in the 70s, the original Two Box Murders. I actually think this was an improvement over the original. The original I found to be rather dull, which a lot of people like put on their list as sort of, I think disturbing art and stuff like that. But I never really liked the original Two Box Murder, so I thought this one was definitely an improvement over it. It's nothing like amazing to me, but I definitely think it's pretty solid. So I give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I like this one a lot too. Angela Bettis too, great actress, and it's a shame we don't see her in more stuff right now. I really love the killer's lair. He kind of lives in between the walls, and there's like a fake, there's like a hidden room or something that's like, oh, let me see the original plans. That means that if this room is vacant and no one's in there, where's the entrance and shit like that. But I hated the cult stuff, man. I thought it was so unneeded. Like I did not like that at all. Just have it be a fucking killer. Living in the walls, living in the fucking in the darkness and things like that. Also, Todd Gripe, at the end of the movie, this killer jumps through her window. Impossible. Impossible. She's on the fourth floor or something like that of this high-rise building. There's no balcony. He's not repelling. How did he jump into the window? He can't. I need reality in my horror movies. I give this one a 3 out of 5. It's fun, and I do like it more than the remake. The remake is kind of dull.
The original, you mean?
The original.
Original, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a sequel to this, which is fucking awful, so don't
Oh,
watch
really?
it.
Okay. A lot of these movies have sequels. Like The Mangler has one or two sequels. Crocodile has a few sequels. Like it's weird that people decide that these needed sequels. Next one is from 1986, and that is Invaders from Mars. So this is basically aliens, are coming down and they're brainwashing people, and this kid, of all people, is trying to stop it. And that's really, the premise of it is there's these creatures that are attacking, and this kid's trying to do things. This one I remembered because I'd seen this one a long time ago because I really think that the alien stuff is really cool. I like the design on the creatures. I think every time that the creatures are on screen, the movie is interesting. But anytime the creatures aren't on screen, it's fucking boring. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's a lot of government stuff and a lot of like just mindless chatter. I feel that the characters are badly written, the performances are pretty shit, and yeah, it's like and the leads are so unlikable. I just couldn't get into it at all. But the creatures are cool, so at least there's something with that, and I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I thought you guys might have seen this one. It's an 80s one, so
It's been too long for me to even give
oh,
an
okay.
opinion. Yeah.
All right, into the top 8 now. Now we're getting into the
The
well-known
the meat and potatoes.
of Mr. Tobe Hooper. So going into another Robert Englund movie, and this one is 1976, Eaten Alive.
Oh yeah, eating alive, dude. Hidden gem.
All right, well, if you're so excited about it, how about
Oh,
you take it away?
all right. This prostitute, dude. It's like I gotta get out of this fucking prostituting. And then this girl's like, go down to the fucking inn. You'll go see your mom, whatever. And of course, the inn is fucking creepy, dude. And I forgot to mention, Robert Englund, his name's Buck, right? Or something like that. He's a little fucking horn dog,
Buck who
dude.
fucks or
Name's
something?
Buck, like to fuck.
That's right. Yeah.
So he's like throws a fit because she won't let him bang her up the butt. And he starts freaking out, and then the head mistress or whatever comes in. He's like, "All right, Buck, you get 2 for 1 because I'm not gonna let you rape my chick. You can have 2 for 1." What the fuck kind of justice is this? Robert England's a piece of shit. All right. Anyway, she takes off and she goes to this inn run by this fucking weird motherfucker that has like a lake, like or a pond butting right up against the inn. Of course, there's an alligator in it. And she gets killed by the alligator. Now it kind of kicks off like a thing where more people keep coming to the inn to try to stay there, including Marilyn Burns of TCM, who is, man, that girl can scream, man. In TCM, she's screaming. In this movie, she's screaming. And yeah, now we're just following along as this motherfucker sacrifices more people to the alligator, and we're following along as they try to get away from this piece of shit. I really like this one, man. I think it's not as dirty as TCM is, but it gets there, right? And you can see the building blocks too for a lot of his films from this movie. What's his name? Freddy Krueger is just like he's just grody, man. I just want to punch him in the throat. And then the main villain in here with his like sickle and thing, I thought he was really effective. He's really creepy looking. He's really slimy. And then of course an alligator in a pond next to your house. Well, you can't go wrong with that. Although the alligator doesn't look great, to be fair. But overall, I really dig this one, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I really like this one too. It's one I had never seen before. Watched it specifically for this retrospective, and yeah, man, I had a lot of fun with it. It's reminded me sort of like tourist trap but with like a alligator or crocodile or whatever. It's so fucking random that like he has like a crocodile. Is it a crocodile? I don't know, whatever.
Like alligator.
Alligator. Okay, it's so fucking random that he has an alligator like in that he uses like to feed to his victims and stuff. I actually think it would have been better if it was just like sort of a rundown like hotel and he just sort of killed the people himself. I don't really know why they decided to go with sort of the alligator angle on it. It just felt rather random to me, but yeah, man, I think Robert Englund is super fun in this one. His sort of gross character. Marilyn Burns is great in this as well. And yeah, man, I agree with Todd. I think this one is sort of like a hidden gem in his catalog. And I think it is slow in sort of the middle. We could have used maybe another kill or two here or there, but overall, I dig this one. I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Oh, before you go, I just realized Kyle Richards is in this movie too.
Is
No.
she?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
random.
yeah,
Is
I
she
think
the
I
little
remember.
girl?
Yeah, she is because I
Oh,
remember
that's
seeing
right. At
that.
the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Crazy.
Cool.
So I'm not as high as you guys on this one. I do like there are some cool kills, lots of nudity in this one. There's some like funny one-liners, but I don't know. I found the movie to be kind of a mess. Like the story wasn't as clear as it could have been for such a simple premise. They like kind of make it more complicated than it needed to be. There are a lot of like dull moments. Like there's times where the movie is just at a dragging, and like Joe said, I think there should have been more kills in this one. And the alligator didn't look great, but that's he didn't look great in the crocodile either in that movie. So I gave it 2.5 stars out of 5. I didn't like it as much as most people did on my letterboxd. All right, moving on to 1993's Body Bag. So in this one, of course, he just did like some of the segments basically along with John Carpenter. Um, I think this is a classic. I really love Body Bags, but more so for John Carpenter than for Tobe Hooper. John Carpenter even plays the like the wraparound story, and man, he should have done more acting. Like John Carpenter is actually a legit actor, surprisingly. And yeah, I think this movie is really cool. I like the segments. You have like one that I remember with Stacy Keach. It's about like hair growth and stuff like that. And you have one with Mark Hamill, which was kind of messy. Couldn't say it was my favorite. But yeah, I think it's a decent anthology if you like things like that. And I gave it 3 out of 5 stars.
Which one did Toby Hooper specifically direct in this one? Do we know
I don't know,
specifically?
honestly.
Okay.
So we have the
Uh,
Mark Hamill's baseball one. That probably seems more like Toby Hooper,
It
right?
does, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, all right.
We'll look it up.
We'll look it up while I'm talking. Yeah, man, I've always liked body bags. I've always found this one to be super fun. I agree with Steve for the Carpenter aspect of it. But yeah, man, all three stories are pretty solid. And it's just super fun all around. My favorite one is probably the first one from what I remember.
Gas station one.
The gas station one, that one's just super fun and is a good time. And then what's the last one? Because you got the
Mark
hair one.
Hamill.
Okay, what's the second one
He
then?
he's a baseball. Oh, the hair
I'm
one's
trying
the
to
second
remember.
one.
The hair one,
The hair one's
where
the
it's
second.
like
All right,
Stacey
what's
Keach trying to
and
keep his
what's I'm
hair.
trying to remember because you get the gas station, the hair, and what's the other
The
one?
baseball one with Mark Hamill.
Yeah, it is
Okay,
Toby Hooper's, by
that's
the
right.
way.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, they're all are pretty solid. The baseball one or the hair one, I'm sorry, is probably the weakest to me. But yeah, man, it's a good time. Agreed. It's probably an underrated sort of horror anthology gem that's out
Mhm.
there. But yeah, man, it's yeah, I mean, could it have been better? Yes, but I think it's definitely really solid, and I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's definitely a shame that this didn't go further. Stacey Keach and Mark Hamill do really good performances in this one, and I think I prefer Mark Hamill's the final story. Maybe the wraparound because he's so fucking weird in it and his look is so like gross looking. But yeah, Mark Hamill's baseball player and he loses his eyesight and obviously needs his eyes for more than one reason. So he gets like this eye transplant, but the eyes were from a serial killer, or maybe it was just one eye from a serial killer. But anyway, he gets something from a serial killer and now he gets the tendencies of that person. Like he murders his wife or tries to murder his wife, something like that. So yeah, I like it. I dug it. Not, my favorite anthology. That's gonna go to the final episode, but it's a 3.5 out of 5.
And Toby Hooper did direct the I one,
Hmm.
the Mark Hamill one, if we didn't say
Yeah.
already.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, next one is 1981's The Funhouse. This is actually the last one I watched on the retrospective, so I just watched it. This is about a girl who looks 21. Sorry, she is 21, but looks like she's 14. And there's this really creepy scene at the beginning where her little brother, like a little kid, like goes and like peeps on her on the shower, and it's just God. This movie starts so fucking weird and gross. But anyway, the story is about this girl. She goes with her friends to a carnival, and it's a really weird carnival. It's got both like stuff for kids, like rides and everything, but there's also like a peep show and like topless old ladies, and yeah, it's a really weird atmosphere, but it looks a lot of fun and everything like that. And they're just doing things. They're peeping on the topless show, and they're doing some rides, and then they decide, okay, let's go fuck in the funhouse, which is basically a dark ride that goes through with different like scares. It's basically like a haunted house, dark ride type of deal, and they go in there and they start screwing around, but then they get locked into it. And they hear some noises happening, and they look down into a grate, and they see this guy who's dressed as Frankenstein's monster, and he takes off his mask, and he's this like creepy creature dude, and he starts killing people. And then they hear that those people are in the funhouse with them. So basically, it's like a cat and mouse game where they're chasing those people and they're trying to survive and get out of the funhouse and the carnival. So yeah, I like this one. I don't think it's amazing. I think it's just like because I love the carnival theme. I love seeing the decorations. I love seeing the props. It's just like an atmosphere that I enjoy. I think the look of the creature guy is really interesting, but I don't know. I felt like there was a lack of like really good kills and a lack of energy, and the characters again, I just couldn't vibe with them at all. And there's just like side plot where the boy is also in the carnival, but it doesn't really go anywhere interesting. He just kind of sneaks in, and then not much happens with that. So I give it 3 out of 5 stars. But yeah, it was cool to rewatch this one.
All right. Is she 14 in the movie or does she just look 14 to you?
She just looks 14. I don't know what
Because
she
I
is in the
thought she looked
movie.
like she was like 35.
Really? That's
Yeah,
so
she's older
funny.
looking for like a teen in my opinion.
That's hilarious. I'm
And then
like,
the dude she's with is clearly like 41 with like a
yeah,
record.
the dude she's with is like definitely a lot older. No,
Uh,
it creeped me out. I was like, oh,
that's it always reminds me of Night of the Demons where the brother's creeping on his sister too. It's
yeah,
like, bro, like relax, go watch look at a Playboy or something.
yeah. Seriously,
Um,
like, why your sister? Like, and I
yeah,
often thought like Halloween, right? When he goes to the
exactly.
guy's room, it's like, is that a thing in fucking
I
slashers?
guess
Like, where?
so. I don't
Keep it
know,
on the
but
ship. Like I never did that. It's gross.
yeah. I love it though, man. Like I'm really into it. One, because I love the carnival theme too, and carnies and that culture is always creepy to me. So when you have like a horror movie set around that, it hits it up a notch. And who hasn't thought of fucking staying the night in a carnival ride, and be like, that's sneaking here. Unfortunately for these people, there's like a mutant hybrid dude run around, and it's funny because he wants to fuck, dude. So like he goes to the carnival whore, and she's like, how much money you got? And he like pulls out 20. He's like, no, you got more. And then he pulls out 100 and shit, and then she gives him a handy. Poor fucker. But then he gets mad and because he wants more or something, and he kills her, and they witness the death, so it sets it off. But yeah, man, he looks fucking creepy. The dad that like abuses him, he's a fucking piece of shit. And also too, no way that dad guy is beating the young older dude in a fight. No fucking way. He like handles that kid. I'm like, no way. He's the jock. Anyway, but I love it. It's a good time, and I give it a 4 out of 5. And that kid's fucking weird too, man. He needs to be looked at.
Yeah, I really like this one a lot too. Just I mean, like Todd said, I'm a sucker too for like anything carnival themed. Like I even like that movie Dark Ride. That's really not that good with the girl from Sopranos in it, but it's just like that. Anything you put carnival stuff, and it's just such a cool theme. And there honestly needs to be like more horror movies with them. Honestly, I feel like it's like underutilized, honestly. But yeah, man, awesome like villain. He's just so fucking weird and creepy looking. There's definitely some weird choices. I agree. Like the that like sex scene with the prostitute is just so like bizarre and unnecessary. But yeah, man, it's a really good time. I enjoy it too. I think it's a '80s classic, so I give it a 4 out of 5.
I think one day, not anytime soon, but one day I'd like to like properly review it because
Yeah.
there are a lot of things
Sure.
in this movie to discuss. And one of the things, and I just want to discuss it really quickly because we are in the middle of a retrospective, but pardon my Canadianness here. But is that what fucking carnivals are like? Are you like where you have
Yeah, absolutely.
fucking sideshows, you have
Yep.
alien
Hmm.
creatures, you have peep shows, topless
Used to,
shows,
Yes.
used to
rides?
be, used to
Yeah.
be, not so
Oh,
much, but definitely in like the 70s, 80s, they were really fucking out there. Um,
that still exists in
but
Kentucky,
do
guys.
they?
Come on
Because
Really?
I mean,
over.
we still
I
have we have
saw.
we have
Go ahead.
carnivals, but no sideshows
Oh no, we
anymore.
got sideshows,
Yeah,
dude. We have
there you go.
I saw a fucking a ferry. They're like, you can't take pictures. You can look, but you can't take pictures. And it's fucking it was basically like Captain Spaulding's little
Oh,
museum of
really?
oddities. Yeah, it was fucking rad. Yeah, no, but there's uh like the tent you go in there, and there's like freak shows and shit. It's
Mhm.
yeah, it's pretty fucking wild.
They're like topless strippers.
No,
Like
not
it's
strippers,
a
no.
carnival, you know?
No strippers, but plenty of other weird shit.
This is also one I feel like is ripe for like a remake. Like I feel
Yeah.
like this could be a home run. Like
The,
if you
the the
make it,
only
and
problem with the remake is they'd have to have it set like back then, because it's really a product of its time. Like there are no carnivals like this anymore. I don't. Oh, apparently in Kentucky maybe. So,
I mean, they had to
but
set it in
yeah,
Kentucky then.
yeah, maybe. Yeah. So one day, hopefully, we can review this one because I think there's a lot to discuss. This one, oh man, I'd never seen this one, and this one was something. That is 1985's Life Force. So this is a space one. It's like these people are on a mission investigating Halley's Comet, and they bring back like this race of space vampires who transform like London's population into zombies. And the space vampire that they bring back is like this super attractive top, like completely naked woman who stays naked for 80% of the film. She's like, you know how in movies like this, they always like find clothes. That's basically their first thing that they do. Not her. She is like just walking around the halls of the hospital. She's going outside. She's just like, fuck it. I'm nude and I'm proud. And yeah, she's basically just turning people into these zombies. And then there are other like people trying to stop it, and the government's involved, and they're doing experiments on other like space characters who also become zombies. It's a really out there film. A lot of really cool practical effects. Again, CGI as well, unfortunately, which I get because you're dealing with space and stuff, and there's like a space mission. But yeah, I really dug this one. I thought this one was fascinating. It was interesting to watch, that's for sure. And yeah, I think it's a solid sci-fi horror film, and probably my biggest surprise out of Tobe Hooper's entire library. So I'd recommend this one.
All right. Yeah, man, Life Force, dude. Carlson, played by the oh, what's his name? He's pretty good in it. I fall in love with her too, dude. She is amazing looking, and she's of course topless the entire movie, and of course she's gonna walk around naked, Steve. She's proud of her body, and rightfully so. But dude, as much as I love boobs, 2 hours runtime really dragged for me at times, dude. It's just like the plot just crawled along at times. I do like the villains. I think the stakes are huge too in this film, and they do a good job of telling you like, hey, if we don't fucking figure this out, the world's done because London's falling and things like that. But man, I can't get past the pacing issues, and the film suffers for it, in my opinion. But it's a cool take on vampires, and I respect it, and I gave it a 3 out of 5. What's that guy's fucking name that stars in this
Steve
movie?
Railback.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah, I know him from he's in Disturbing Behavior and there's something else I know him from. I could picture his face, but I don't remember
He
what
plays
movie
Ed
it is.
Gein in Gein.
Oh, does
If you've
he?
seen that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely saw that one. Interesting. Anyway, all right. So now we're getting into some of the big ones, including the only one out of this list that we've reviewed. 400 episodes, and we've only reviewed one Toby Hooper. Well, at least we did as the Horror Squad. I think you guys maybe did TCM and Three Guys Days, and that is 1979's Salem's Lot, a probably 20-hour film is what it felt like anyway. I think it's actually more like three, but goddamn, this movie's long. So this one is about this like vampire who's shipped into this town of Salem's Lot, and people are like getting suspicious of this house because things are happening, and they're trying to stop it. You know, we had, like I said, we did a whole episode about this. I won't talk too much about it. I think it's too long, to be honest with you. I actually preferred the Salem's Lot from like last year or 2 years ago, which I thought was awesome. I actually put it in my top 10 of the year. That's how much I liked it. This one is just too slow. What do they call it? It's
Or
not yeah. Orlok was my what's his fucking name? Barlow.
Barlow. There you go.
Yeah, but awesome look. Absolutely classic look. He looks amazing. Every time he's there, the movie is great, but he's not there all that often, and there's a lot of filler between all of it. So I gave it 2 out of 5 stars, but like I said, listen to our episode for our full breakdown of this one.
Yeah, man. I think this is one we're all sort of in agreement with, which is weird because most people fucking love this movie and praise it. But yeah, man, to me, this one's like a slog for the most part. It's just so damn long in the two parts, and they focus so much on the townspeople, like, and unnecessarily a lot of the time, like all these like random ass storylines that really mean nothing to the movie, and just yeah, man. And it's weird. Like it's sacrilegious to say, but I too preferred the one that came out last year. I thought it was just way better and more interesting. Although obviously Barlow is awesome, villain, and he looks great in this one. And when he is on screen, it's great. But he's not in it a ton, and everything else is obviously there's a couple of iconic moments in the movie. That's great, but it's not worth it for sitting through, over 3 hours, of this movie. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I can't add any more to that. I agree with you guys. This is 2.5. It's way too fucking long. So yeah.
All right. And now on to one of the two biggest films that Tobe Hooper made. It's actually, I'm supposed to do it like next, but since the other two are this from the same series, I'll do this one first. And that is 1982's Poltergeist. Definitely a classic. I mean, the story is about a poltergeist that haunts this family through their television. Because back in my day, I am that old, television used to end at like 11:30, and they'd play the national anthem, and then it would be static until 5 a.m. And through that static, the poltergeist shows itself to a little girl, and it eventually like takes that little girl, and then the occupants of that house have to bring in various basically Ed and Lorraine Warren of the 80s and try to get the poltergeist out. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this. I'm conflicted on this one, if I'm being honest. I just rewatched it recently. I like some of it. I don't like some other stuff of it. I think the beginning, like the two first Ghost Hunter, like that whole part, I don't really like that part. It's all like CGI kind of mist, and they're a little like, I don't know, they're kind of boring. They're like a mix of the Warrens and also like Elise with Specs and Tucker from Insidious, but nowhere near as interesting. And I don't know, it's just kind of like too much for me. I do like the second half of the movie, though. I like it when the other girl comes in, to clean the house, and I especially love the last 15 minutes of this film, which really makes up for a lot of the film, in my opinion. Because if it wasn't for that 15 minutes, I probably wouldn't think this movie rated as high at all. So I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5. I think it's good. I just don't think it's one of the best like ghost movies out there.
I've tried. This is third time watching this film. I just don't like it, man. Like, I think it's overall pretty boring. I hate the medium that comes in, that little like squeaky voice person, and the decisions that the family make are just fucking dumb, dude. The final 10 minutes, though, I guess 15 for you, 10 for me. That whole sequence is fucking great, man. Like when the shit hits the fan and things are going wild, that's what I love about this film. And then a couple early things, like when she turns around, all everything's stacked on the table and like her little experiments, like when they're slowly learning what's going on. That's cool, but everything in between I did not like. Um, and then of course the reveal of what they did with the graveyard and everything, that was fucking rad too. But yeah, I've never liked this one, and I think that's the final time I'm gonna try because I'm giving it a generous 2.5 just for that final 10 minutes.
Well, I think this is one of the greatest ghost movies of all time. I absolutely love this one. From beginning to end, I just was hooked. I remember it as a child and I've watched it several times since, and to me it holds up extremely well. Are some of the effects not great? Obviously not for a movie that came out in 1982, though. I'm able to forgive them. But man, like just so many memorable scenes for me in this one. Obviously the clown being still just terrifying to me to this day. Getting sucked into a closet is just like crazy.
Getting
Yeah, man.
sucked in a closet?
Yeah, getting sucked into the
Oh my
closet.
word.
Yeah. Just I don't know, man. I love everything about this movie. I think the family is all you know, great. Like they just feel like a real everyday sort of suburban type family. Everyone sort of gives great performances here. Like even the parents just smoking weed at one point in the bedroom, like totally relatable, dealing with their shitty kids and stuff like that. Yeah, man, the tree is a fucking great scene. Just so many memorable scenes. Obviously, nothing beats the fucking guy tearing his face off in the mirror. Fucking great. And of course Tangina. I think she's a great psychic. She's just so memorable to me, and obviously is a constant in that franchise. And I think even the sequels are really good too. Not so much part three, but part two is fantastic. Definitely one maybe we should go. We've covered the original, or have we not ever covered the original? Wow. All right, so we should probably cover this one, but at some point, although it would be an interesting discussion since Todd not a big fan and me being a huge fan of it. Yeah, man, love this one. I think it's one of Tobe Hooper's best, although most people attribute Spielberg to this one, over Hooper, but Hooper did direct this one. 4.5 out of 5 for me.
Nice. All right, and now for the big two. I'll name the first one first, even though it's technically the biggest one. Maybe what he's known for the most, 1974's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't even know what to say about this one. Super classic. It's one of
Amazing.
the Uber classics. It's one of the ones that are at least in the discussion of the Mount Rushmore of horror. Not only because of the film itself, but definitely because of the impact it had on the horror industry, which is huge. Just the look, the feel, the character. There's just so much to love about this movie. This is a uber classic. Leatherface is amazing. I think this is the best Leatherface. Like the only one that would come close is the remake for me. But yeah, this movie is just top to bottom creepy, slimy, gross, but in the best way. So yeah, that's TCM. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, I mean, this movie is just a prime example that you don't need a big budget to make a fantastic horror movie. Yeah, man, I mean, it's an absolute classic, one of the greatest horror movies of all time, still making Texas Chainsaw Massacres to this day, all these years later. And it's all thanks, obviously, to Tobe Hooper and this movie. Obviously, super fascinating behind the scenes stuff as well with this movie. Yeah, man, Leatherface, clearly an icon, one of the grittiest horror movies of all time as well. Uh, yeah, I mean, what can you say? It's something we've covered before, I think, right? No, we've never covered someone.
You
You,
guys, you guys did on
we
Three
did way
Guys.
back. All right, back
Yeah,
in the three
but
Yeah,
guys
like
did.
didn't we do a double feature with Sam? This and the remake?
I thought we did, but maybe we only covered the remake.
maybe I'll have to
Hmm.
check.
Um, but yeah, man, I mean, what more is there to say? It's to me a perfect horror movie. Just so many iconic moments, so many. But and it's just shot so fucking good too. There's just so many just like man, like especially like the close up on the eyes of Marilyn Burns' eyes in certain scenes is just so unnerving. But also like she has like beautiful eyes too, so like there's like a beautifulness to the craziness too, and just an absolutely iconic ending. Just amazing. Amazing from beginning to end. There's never really a dull moment in this entire movie. And I mean, obviously, the fucking dinner scene will go down as probably one of the most disturbing scenes in horror history. And yeah, man, 5 out of 5, perfect horror movie.
Yeah, amazing is a great word for this film because it is. From start to finish, dude. Like you just get this unsettling feeling. You pick up this hitchhiker, this nice group of friends trying to do something nice, and pick up this fucking guy, and he's just from the beginning, just a fucking weirdo. And then you know something bad's gonna happen, you know? And the Leatherface, he's just this big imposing motherfucker that of course you're terrified of, and then you're scared of the cook too, who's a skinny little bitch, but he's terrifying as well, just for his lack of humanity and his abuse of her when she's locked in his fucking like little truck and he's just hitting her with a broom handle. It's just gross. And of course the dinner scene like you guys mentioned, just like think putting everything together, how they shot it, how hot it was, how fucking gross the set was. You got rotting food, you got Gunnar Hansen really cutting Marilyn Burns because the fucking fake thing wouldn't work, so he's so tired of it, he just cut her for real. I mean, I love this movie. It's, my second or third favorite movie of all time. I mean, I got the fucking toys, soundtrack, making notebooks, tattoo. Um, it's just great, man. And every time I watch it, I enjoy it. And it's a disturbing film. And there's like zero blood in it practically compared to today's standards. And it's still ultra effective. So yeah, I give it a 5 out of 5.
So we only reviewed four, the remake, the beginning, and the 2022 version on the podcast.
Oh, so we're almost complete.
So we've never done this one.
Hmm.
And we also have never done the final film on our Tobe Hooper retrospective, which is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Despite it previously having a t-shirt design of us as these characters when Sam was on the podcast, we've never actually reviewed it on the podcast. So when you guys want to talk about what this one's all about?
I would love to, man. I love this movie. It rivals the original for me, and I know a lot of people won't agree, but I think this is an example of taking what you have in part one and just going fucking crazy with it. And part one's already a crazy film as well. This one goes in a more comedic route, though, which some may like or not. I tend to like it, but yeah, it starts off with just these two yokels calling into a radio program. Carolyn Williams plays Stretch. She's a DJ, and they're just talking shit and they won't hang up the phone and then they get murdered on air, which triggers a police investigation. Dennis Hopper, who's insane in this movie, he's trying to avenge his family. Franklin from the first one is like his nephew or something, and he's been hunting this fucking family down, these Sawyers, this clan of fucking a-holes. um and yeah, now Caroline Williams gets captured or something like that, and then Dennis Hopper, like in his quest to defeat the family, he goes and kind of helps her escape and brings down the whole operation, and it's just fucking wild. Plus, you get added new characters, man. You get Chop Top, played by Bill Moseley, legendary legend of the genre, Bill Moseley, who is one of my favorite characters in the series and in horror in general, man. Bill Moseley just plays him so like, for one of his words he used, far out, man. He's this Vietnam vet. He has a plate in his head and he constantly scratches his skin away and eats it. He's just dirty fucking teeth, skinny little fucker. Probably smells like fucking BO and jizz. He's just fucking wild, and I love it, man. There's also some weird sexual things in this too, where Leatherface basically uses his saw as a fucking penis to like traumatize Stretch in the radio station. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about this. I love it. I can see why people don't, especially when comparing to number one. But for me, it's a damn good follow-up, and I give it a 4.5. I'm almost at a 5, man. Maybe next time I watch it, but yeah, I'm at a 4.5 right now.
Yeah, so this is one I originally hated, but I will say I've come around a little bit on it. When I first saw it, just was not prepared for what I was ready to see, I think. But I've watched it a few times, since because you guys, I think, have pushed me to watch it again, and I definitely appreciate it more now. I just the comedy sort of turn on this one, I just was not a huge fan of, and I still don't love most of it. But I guess like what it's tough, right? Because like, how do you follow up such a classic, right? And going in a different direction, I do respect it, but it was a bold move for sure. But yeah, man, all there's a lot of fun characters here. Obviously, Bill Moseley is Chop Top is a lot of fun, and you get Dennis Hopper in here as well. I don't love though Leatherface in this one. It's definitely not my favorite portrayal of Leatherface. I actually prefer all the other sort of characters in this one. But yeah, man, overall, it's a decent movie. I don't consider it a classic though or anything like that. But I think it's still a fun time, and it's one that I would watch again, today. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. Originally, I think I had it at like a 2 or 2.5 out of 5. So I've definitely appreciated it a lot more now.
Yeah, this is definitely a jarring change. I feel as a sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's awful, but as its own film, it's a lot of fun. You just have to kind of look at it as its own entity because it really takes a big dump on the franchise if you don't look at it as its own entity. I also don't like Leatherface in this. I think they made it a little too like jokey and stuff like that. I'm also not really a big fan of Carolyn Williams' character either, if I'm being honest. I do love Chop Top though. I think he's one of the best characters out there. Uh, there's a lot to love about it though. I really love the kind of radio setting that they have at the beginning of the film and the whole scene with Chop Top, like, before he kind of exposes himself as what he really is super interesting. And yeah, I just have a lot of fun with it. And it's one that I feel is slowly raising my score every time I watch it. I haven't watched that a ton of times, but it's definitely going higher and higher every time. It's just one I'm starting to appreciate more and more. So I'm also with Joe. I'm also at a 3.5 right now, but I can see myself watching it again and maybe bumping it up to a 4.
Sweet. Tobe Hooper.
Yeah, I gotta say, having watched all the films, not my favorite of the
Mhm.
retrospectives. A lot of twos, two and a
Lots
halves.
of twos, yeah.
Of course, he made two of the biggest, horror classics, I guess, for in a lot of people's eyes,
Mhm.
especially Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But yeah, it's just not one of my favorite ones out there. If I was going to recommend anything, like I said, I think Life Force and the Toolbox Murders were my two favorites outside of the obvious. And yeah, it's it is what it is.
You know, I agree with you. I mean, Gin, Crocodile, Combustion, and then for me, Sam's Lot and Poltergeist and Life Force and all that shit aren't great, man. And I know Poltergeist, I understand Poltergeist is like a legendary film to a lot of people, so I'm probably wrong on that one, but it's, in my opinion, whatever. So he does have a mark on the genre, and you can't argue against Texas Chainsaw Massacre in any regard. Even if the rest of his films are dog shit half stars, having this one fantastic film that you know, laid a lot of groundwork for horror as it is today. You can't discount that. So I think he's a legendary director with a top tier film, a couple like next tier films for me at least, Texas Chainsaw 2, Eaten Alive, Funhouse, and then a bunch of trash. Or lesser films. But like I said, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is amazing, and you can't, you don't. Everyone that knows horror knows Leatherface, and it's because of him. So, um, yeah, he's a legend, but it sucks that his later work was pretty poopies.
Yeah, man. I mean, to me, he created two iconic franchises in Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist. So I mean, that is enough right there, to put him in the annals, of horror. And he had some other good stuff too. Obviously the Funhouse being iconic as well. I think to most horror fans. And after that, though, yeah, I mean, not a lot like that. I would say is memorable, but I mean, think about Wes Craven too, right? Like, obviously, he created even bigger franchises, right? With Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street. But after that, it's like a lot of sort of down the middle stuff, right? Like, which we explained. So, Craven was obviously a lot bigger because he created two of the biggest franchises that are still going today, whereas Hooper, Poltergeist really isn't still going today, so it's really just Texas Chainsaw Massacre for him. But he created just, yeah. Would you put him up there with Craven though? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe
I
not.
mean,
Craven's bigger, but
yeah, there's no arguing that Scream and Nightmare are bigger franchises, but
yeah.
my personal taste would be Leatherface over
Hmm.
Ghostface and Freddy,
Hmm.
personally.
Yeah, the thing that's like not tangible is the impact that he had on the industry.
Right.
Even though the majority of the films aren't great, his impact in the industry is massive. So in that regard, I think he's up there with the greats.
Hmm.
Now, if you do like one of your favorite words, Joe, an aggregate score of his career, no, it's not in the top tier, but it really doesn't matter because he'll be remembered forever because he brought, especially, Texas Chainsaw Massacre to the mainstream. And how many other movies did we get because of that
Yep.
is immeasurable. It's like there's a ton. So yeah, so I think in that regard, he has to be among the greats.
Yeah. And I mean, without him, like, who knows if like these other slashers would even existed, right? Because like Leatherface is the original slasher, right? Like, is there anything before that? Like, not
Mm,
really.
nothing really jumps out to me.
No, like he was the start of the slasher craze,
Hmm.
So that alone is just impressive, So yeah, man, rest in peace, Tobe Hooper. You created some amazing characters and just yeah. So where do we go from here, Steve? Have you already prepped
Well,
what is going to be our next retrospective?
so I did look into it, and I'm at the point. So we've done four now, and
Hmm.
our rule was that we only do retrospectives when they've passed.
Hmm.
But looking at other people, thankfully, and we're very blessed about this, a lot of them are still alive. So
Hmm.
I'm thinking we should amend our rule not to have just deceased directors, but people we feel are like at the end of their career.
Sure.
People like
John
Carpenter. I don't
Carpenter, yeah.
think he's gonna make a lot more movies. Argento. I don't think he's gonna make a ton
Hmm.
more movies.
Fair.
And I think that we should start looking at those directors and not just being the Grim Reaper and waiting for them to die.
Fair.
So yeah, so I think that our next retrospective should be someone like that, like Carpenter. Essentially, would probably be my
That'd
the
probably
one.
be a big one people
That'd
would
be
want,
the
yeah.
big one,
And
yeah.
it's he also it's like in the 20s. So
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do anything. He might do one more
Oh,
right,
movie
Dead
as a
exactly.
Space,
shot as a
please.
I
surprise,
Please
know.
do
but
Dead
yeah.
Space, John.
But I don't think he's doing much more. And so yeah, I would agree with you
Yeah.
on that. Yeah, so we won't promise anything yet, but maybe
No, yeah, these take a
Carpenter
long
for
time
the
to
next
produce
one. We
anyway, so.
shall see.
Yeah, so I did 25 films, which is perfect, exactly
Yeah.
in our like wheelhouse.
Hmm.
And a lot of these like are pretty mainstream. I mean, we've covered some of them on the podcast. We did The
Yeah.
Thing. We're actually doing Halloween this year,
Hmm.
so that's going to be in there. Did we do The Fog on the podcast? I feel like maybe
Yeah,
yeah, I think so.
I think we
We
did.
did. Yeah, me and Steve were both into that one check, I remember.
Right. Then Vampires, we did
Yeah.
Christine. So like we've already done a lot on the
A
podcast.
lot.
So
Yeah.
there's not a ton left to discuss, but there's actually Dark Star is the one I meant to say that's like leading in the vote right now, and the so we're actually might do a Carpenter film on Movie
All
Club.
right.
Oh, that movie is not
All
good.
right. Let's just all right. Well, let's just say it now. Then we're gonna do
Yeah.
Carpenter next for next year at some point. We'll do a John Carpenter retrospective. Kind of. Would you say ending out sort of the iconic horror directors like of our time?
Well, of the
Well,
like,
James Wan, but I mean, obviously he's still got a long
there's a
career
lot of
ahead
like,
of him and
I mean,
stuff
like
like
like it's
that.
Argento. We could also do
Fulci's dead.
Fulci, but
Yeah,
he's got like
a lot.
fucking 65 movies, you
Yeah,
know. I looked at Hitchcock, but he also has like 50, 60 movies.
Hitchcock would be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Carpenter for now, and then we
I
can in the
mean,
future
we could also mend these retrospectives to be like, we'll pick their 25
their top
biggest,
20.
yeah, like their
Yeah.
top 20, top 25, so we're not having to watch 50 or 60. So that's
Right.
something too we can figure out. But all right, so yeah, that's gonna wrap it up then for our Tobe Hooper retrospective. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Next year, most likely, is going to be John Carpenter, unless something changes, but we will prepare for that. Yeah, so that's gonna wrap it up for episode number 400, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Some of you have been here since the very beginning, our listeners. And without you, obviously, we wouldn't even be doing this podcast because we'd just be talking to ourselves. So we appreciate all of you that listen every week or just come in once in a while and listen. We appreciate every single one of you, especially a big special thanks to everyone on our Discord. You guys are the real ones. You guys are the hardcore ones. We appreciate you all. And yeah, thank you to everybody who has made this podcast what it is. All of the guests that have joined us throughout the years, all of the celebrities, directors that have joined us throughout the years that have shown us any and all kind of support. We thank you from the bottom of our black, dead, cold hearts. All
Some
right.
emo song you're doing now.
I was trying to be like horror, but our zombie hearts, whatever. All right, so that is going to wrap it up once again for episode 400. In the meantime, you can come up with the podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. Just search the Horror Squad Podcast. You can email us anytime, the Horror Squad Podcast at gmail.com. But of course, the absolute best way is our Discord. It's linked over on our Instagram, or you can send us a DM or an email to get that link to our Discord movie club every single month over there, hosted by Steve, and a bunch of other channels you can sift through and talk with your fellow horror fans. Also, don't forget merch, tpublic.com, the Horror Squad Podcast. Brand new design coming on November 1st, so stay tuned for that. We are very excited for that drop. That is a very, very cool design, and we cannot wait to share that with you. We will probably share that with our Discord people first, so be ready. Jump on the Discord if you want to have first dibs on seeing that. And we'll probably do the pre-sale for our Discord first too. We'll probably drop it like a week earlier for our Discord people. So yeah, join us over that on there. Also, leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app if you haven't already. That helps the podcast greatly. Next week, we will be covering The Long Walk, this new Stephen King movie that is out. I think we've all seen it at this point. So yeah, go and check it out. It is in theaters currently. And yeah, so that's it. That's going to wrap it up. Once again, 400 episodes down. Who knows how many more to go? Maybe eternity. I don't know. Maybe we'll record this in hell when we're all down there. We'll see. But
Speak for
Todd's like,
yourself, bud.
but yeah, once again, thanks everyone. And we'll see you next week for episode 401, The Long Walk. See ya.
But
See ya.